Hello, my name is Jo Maggard, and I just wanted to share a quick testimony with you guys. This is my testimony of how God has released me from the captivity of debt, D-E-B-T, debt. So I just want to begin the story with a significant event that happened to me and 3 other friends. We came down to Gloria Zion to be baptized on January 21st, 2024. It was the middle of winter. We all had our different reasons that why we wanted to do this, and my reason was the last couple of years have been pretty difficult for me, and I was desperate to put them behind me. Chuck Pierce prophesied over me, and the part of the word he said, what was dead and eaten away, I'm going to show you new life in it. And another word that Keith Pierce prophesied over one of our other friends and our ministry, Rose Ministry. He said that God has brought these ladies down here from Oklahoma, and he brought them here to break death. Death is breaking today, and the desolation of death is breaking today. And behold, God is going to do a new thing in you individually and corporately. And that is a word that we have held on to for pretty tightly over the last couple of months for different reasons. You have to go watch Patty Graham's testimony. So anyway, I'm going to be vulnerable with you and share what I've been going through up until recently. I don't know that I've shared everything with even my closest friends. So from the prophecy, it says what I felt was dead and eaten away, honestly, was my hope and a future. As in Jeremiah 29:11, it says, I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. And I was struggling with that part. I mean, I knew that this is the word of the Lord and this is true, but I did not feel like I had a hope and a future. You see, my issue, I guess, if you want to call it that, I was a slave, and I was a slave to debt. I say slave because I could not see a way out of it. I made a mess. I know I did. I had accumulated a large amount of debt due to loss of income or not enough income, car accident, career changes, not being able to get a new job that would pay me what I needed to live on. And I know I made some bad financial decisions. But as the bills stacked up, I used my credit cards, and they quickly got maxed out. And I took out loans thinking this would help me, but in the end, it just stacked up more debt. Another thing about me, I am single. I've been single for a decade or more. So I am the one responsible for taking care of, all the bills and as it goes. So anyway, for a time, the only job I had was delivery driving. But because I was a 1099 contractor, every year I got a big bill from the IRS. And of course that meant more debt. So I was determined to meet my financial responsibilities, so I worked all the time. I would get up at 6 in the morning and work 50 to 60 hours a week. I hurt my back multiple times because it was so labor intensive. I got to know my chiropractor well, but by the grace of God, everything got paid. I never felt delinquent. However, I was only paying off the credit card minimums, and there was no end in sight. So debt was the death structure in my life, and it seemed no matter what I tried, I could not get out from under it. I prayed and repented, asked God for help, but I still could not see a way out. And this was such a heavy weight on me that I carried every day. It tormented me. I wanted to be responsible. I wanted to pay my bills, my debts, but I had no options. I could not see how to get out of this. Have you ever been in a hole that you feel like there's no way out? My hole was deep, dark, and hopeless, and I was ashamed. I was desperate. I was a slave. I was chained to that mountain of debt, and there was no way out that I could see. So again, the torment is real. The enemy wants you to think there's no way out. If he can get you down that rabbit hole, you feel hopeless, overwhelmed, ashamed, and alone. I remember saying to the Lord one time, I don't think I'm doing this life thing very well. I was just so worn down, I would say. The dark looming mountain was always overshadowing me, and I could never get rid of it. I could never escape it. It was there. I always trusted in God and believed he could help me, and I believed he would. I just didn't see how or when. I could not see an answer. After the baptism, the Lord had me look at the debt, and this was the first step. I avoided looking at it in the past because it overwhelmed me. I created a spreadsheet, and I found out exactly how much I owed, and it was a lot. I repented again and asked God to forgive me, and I asked him to help me find a solution. And I know he forgave me. I called debt consolidation companies, and that was no help. I would still have been in debt, just to a new company for 5 years and a larger payment. I got offers in the mail for loans, which would have lumped it all together with a large interest rate. Been there, done that, so that was not the answer. Then I felt the Lord told me to look at bankruptcy again. I had looked at it a few years earlier, but I didn't qualify. So I didn't believe that I could file for bankruptcy, but decided to call an attorney here in my hometown. To my surprise, he called me right back, and I told him all the reasons why I did not qualify, and he quickly debunked them all. So I got an appointment within 2 days. And I remember after talking to him, I was sitting in the conference room, and I thought, this is the goodness of God. This is my way of escape. I was shocked. I could not believe it. So things changed dramatically after that first meeting with the attorney. I had a plan. I had a solution that would wipe out virtually almost all of my debt. I redid my budget, and without paying all those payments to the credit cards, and I discovered that I could live on my current income and would have a little money left over. All of a sudden, I didn't have to work all the time. I could sleep in and slow down a bit. It's been a couple of months since that first meeting with the attorney. In these last months, I have been finding a new normal. I am at peace. I am joyful. I started planting flowers in my garden again. I started exercising and dancing again. I feel like I'm coming back to myself, and I can enjoy the life God has given to me. It's amazing. This is what the Lord did for me, and I give him all the glory. He took an impossible situation, and he gave me a way out. A few years ago, I turned 50, and I wanted Jubilee, and I declared Jubilee at my birthday party. One of the meanings of Jubilee is the land and the people rest, and all who were in slavery were freed. So when I repented, again, asked the Lord to forgive me. I knew he did. But now I know I'm redeemed. I'm redeemed. That is a powerful word. God did that for me, and I am eternally thankful. It's like the yoke that was around my neck is gone, and I am truly free. So I wanted to share this because this is the goodness of God. This is what the Lord did for me when I didn't think anything would ever change. He all of a sudden changed everything. I know that God is with us. I know that I'll just say he loves you all, and no matter what situation you're in, God has an answer. God is the answer. We have a loving, loving God. And I pray for you that you will experience His love and His kindness in your life. Thanks for listening.